This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
One night, long ago, on the windswept prairies of western Canada, he stepped into the faint light of a kerosene lantern to speak with a man from the tribe that his people call the Washichu, and that we call Euro-Americans. Jerome Stilson of the New York Herald looked into the eyes of this man, who was both the most famous American Indian in the world and a scarcely understood mystery. "Your face is dark," Stilson told this enigma who had come to him in the form of a man. "My people do not see it." What Stilson said that night many years ago remains true to this day. His name is still the best known of any American Indian leader in history. But despite this, his face remains clouded by mystery, unseen and not truly understood by the Washichu. He's known around the globe. Mark Holman, the library director at the college that bears his name, told me. You can go anywhere in the world and mention his name, and people know. His fame is assured. He was world famous when he died, and he is at least as well known around the globe today. But why? What is it about him that makes him as relevant and as current in the 21st century as he was in the 19th century? Who was he, and what is his legacy? He was many things to many people, and he remains as such today. He was a warrior, a shaman, a villain, and a hero. He was a showman, happily selling autographed pictures of himself and selling them at a discount to ladies to whom he took a fancy. He was a man of great charisma. Today, his face is not so much dark as it is like a face illuminated by the lantern or by the shifting, flickering light of a campfire, like that which burned the night he was born or the night he was laid to rest. Both James Walsh and Adirondack Murray, who knew him and respected him, understood that he projected an indefinable presence and power that made the 19th century term medicine man a meaningless understatement. Murray saw him and sensed an oracle of mysteries, and saw in him the highest expression of wisdom. Stanley Vestal, who did not know him, but probably talked to more people who did than anyone else who has written about him, saw him as the very heart and soul of the frontier, one of the makers of America. He saw himself as a man who saw things that others did not see. The Lakota have a word for men like him. They call them Wichashawakan. But even that seems a pale way to understand something that can't really be described in words. What most people know of him today is known through a shifting, flickering amalgam of images, some true, some ambiguous, and a great many that are totally false. His image is like a collection of partially assembled pieces of a puzzle. Like many historical figures with which most of us have only a passing acquaintance, he is known through an often distorted lens. He was a great man, but he was also a human man. Like all great men, he had his weaknesses, his moments of doubt and fear. Like all great men, he was a very complex man, who we have reduced to simple terms in order to try to grasp who he was. To do so, we often miss the point. Though the man is long gone, and his face still remains unclear, his name has never been forgotten. However, exactly who he was remains less clear in that collective memory than what his name has come to represent. The caricature was easy to grasp, but the reality was far more complex than the simplistic image that has been ingrained into popular culture for more than a century.